Hello my people, welcome again to the Gatosefx channel, and today just give you the post analysis of pound dollar, the only trade that I took for the past week, and I've been holding it since Monday, but the analysis was done in the previous week on Thursday. It was on the 13th, before price broke above this channel. This candle still continue to print here, and I told my students in the class, like, they were confusing with GU. They didn't know what to do with GU, and that's only because traders who look at the lower time frame or who are impatience, they do not understand what's happening in the higher time frame, because with the price action of GBP pound from weekly time frame, monthly time frame, price was bullish, although for 9 months it was consolidating. By then, in the weekly time frame, already EDE took place, and you understand the EDE concept. When it's happening, it involves doji. So if that doji is a weekly doji candlestick, to take a trade with an EDE concept, for the impatient traders or the traders who look at the lower time frame only, they might get confused because they only want to get a trade with GU, EU whenever they want, or each and every single week. That's quite possible, but with respect with my strategy, zone to zone strategy, you have got to be very patient with the stuffs like this, okay? So now, what's happening with GBPUSD, although the pair is very strongly bullish, but we have had some moments of consolidation, like you could see here. These are the daily candles, near the 13th candles, which were forming a weekly doji candle, giving us a very good EDE entry liquidity mode. Okay, so when this happened, I told the students, let's wait for the candle to break above, then we'll make a decision. If it doesn't, because we don't know how long it will take for the price to continue printing these small candles. Trading properly involves reacting to the patterns based on your strategy, and not reacting before the pattern has occurred. Like the price in the resistance or support zone. I'll show you that today, or in this hour, this zone is going to be broken above or under. Until it happens, then you react. Simple. This was just a break and retest of this zone. Okay, so let me show you from the conversation I have had with my people on the 13th of April last month. We were here. You see this with a very beautiful higher time frame retracement with the bearish structure. We have had a shiftful structure here. A weekly zone was broken. Price already came to retest. By then, it was printing very small candles going to the downside. Under this circumstance, I couldn't tell when we'll be able to break above. You see this channel is the same as this one until the 13th candle, Thursday previous week, broke above, retested, and then we continue with the bullish momentum. And I can read my comment here. I say it in Kiswahili. I think I talked with my people. Kwa ninavyoona mimi hapo GU imekaa kimtego sana, pia daily time frame inapiga consolidation kwenye channel. Acha niipe muda mpaka tutoke kwenye hii channel. We do not rely on channel, but we apply when it makes sense in such environment. Then let me speak in English. What I see is that GBPUSD is in the dilemma. From the daily time frame, there are consolidations, which are this one. In this channel, it's consolidating within the channel. So let me give it a time until the price get out of this channel, coming back to retest, and then we continue with the bullish momentum. But I said we do not rely on the channel. Zone doesn't rely on the channel, but we apply them when it makes sense. That was on the Thursday 13th. Okay. Then this is another one. Let's see when we, yep. Here now, we were able to break above. Okay, this on the 1st May most. Okay, we broke above, Then I said mwamba amebreak zone, huyu ni wa wiki ijayo. The price has broke this channel down. This trade is for the next week because this was Friday now. Couldn't take a trade on Friday. I was waiting for the pullback, and here is where the lesson with patience comes. I was very patient to wait for the break, and now again I'm becoming very patient to wait for the retest before I take a continuation trade. Okay, so what happened with the next other time frame is just follows as we see here. I could probably show you even how I took this. Okay, so on Friday, when price was testing, you see we have had a lot of patterns here. We have had this inverted head and shoulder. Now I said price is coming to test the neckline of the head and shoulder. You could read my comment here. Mungu atupe nini, ni head and shoulder, imenyoka na price ndio hiyo inaingia kwenye area interest. Okay, then we took the first entry. Price continue with its momentum until again it came to have giving us another second opportunity. All right, so to cut the story short, let's do the full back test to see what's happened, what popped that gave us this trade opportunities. So let me take a clear sheet in order to narrate the fully top-down analysis of GBPUSD bullish trade. I started everything with the monthly time frame, and that's my principle. That's the very fundamental principle with GBP, with zone-to-zone trading strategy. All right. Now, looking at the monthly time frame, this market actually is bullish. See, the major structure is creating these higher highs, and it maintains lower lows. But what's happening now in the higher time frame, you will really focus on the current market structure, because the highs and the lows, they're going to give you a good opportunities of having not less than 250 pips. Okay, so looking at this pair from June last year to date, price is having this consolidation. That's why I marked these highs of a monthly consolidation and the lows of the monthly consolidation. You see, price is ranging here. We have a range, a beautiful range. So definitely our zone of business is going to be within this range, because here is where we are going to formulate a trade for the time that we have. If we buy, we'll get out of the resistance zone 285 pips. If market sells, we get out of the support zone 300 pips. So it's all makes sense. All right, so if it is the consolidation of the higher time frame, from that time frame I got nothing to do, then I shifted to the next lower time frame, which is a weekly time frame. Now, looking at the weekly time frame, what do we see? Always we react based on what we see in the market is taking place. Now, price is bouncing. You see this movement of the price. It's bouncing up and down, up and down, up and down. Again, we don't know how long it will take to break out of this consolidating zone. We are still in the accumulation of the higher time frame. Here's where I said about the concept of EDE, which I found it happened in the previous weeks. Like, look, we have at least 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, which is leaving these hanging weeks. We didn't have any full board candle which was able to close over and above these rejection weeks until this week, which gave us a high momentum bullish candlestick. All right, now I realized that we have a weekly zone over here. I've got a weekly zone over here. There are some criteria that I'm using to draw these monthly weekly zones. If you want to get to know them, you might apply for the full classes. Okay, here is my address. You could find me. But again, you can find me in WhatsApp, Instagram page with the Gatosefx brand and so forth. All right, so that was a concept of EDE which took place. the EDE, we have the engulfing, we have the doji and the retest, and everything went smoothly. We have had a shift of structure from the daily time frame. This sales movement was selling with a very, very much proper bearish trend. You can perhaps see it seen here. It's very naked. It's very naked. You have lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, until you have had a high high, higher high. So this is what this reflects the shift of structure. Market shifted the structure with a very strong weekly zone here. It was a resistance zone. Price broke above, came to retest, and then continue with the bullish market. And then here is where I introduce even channels. I say, okay, fine. Now we have got this very beautiful bearish trend in this channel. Now market has shifted. What do you expect to have a bullish momentum? So when I did this analysis, like I've shown on the 13th of May, I observed another bearish channel here. There were very weak daily time frame candles which gave us this channel here. So I can tell like how long it will take for the price to either break above the channel or below the channel. Look at counting the number of days, it's about 13 days. That's why I told my people, if this price broke above, then we are continue to go bullish. Here is where patience, understanding of the market structure takes place in this business. But because I've seen we have a bullish shift of structure, I have had the highest anticipation that the probability of this market to go bullish is very much high, and that's why I just drew my another daily time frame zone here, hoping that price will break above, coming to retest, and then continue with the bullish trend. But then I remain patient, okay? Then we have had the Thursday's candle breaking above. It was a proper confirming that these buyers now have been very serious to take this market to the upper hand. All right, okay, fine. So the only way now I was waiting is for the price to come retest and then continue with the bullish market. Everything just ended here in the daily time frame. I don't know why people say they cannot trade higher time. It's very much easier, less noisy, easier. The structure, seeing what's needed is your level of patience and understanding the structure with respect to the liquidity for entry and exit. So we have had then the next day, you see price continued to buy very strongly. Then on Friday, it closed with a inverted hammer candlestick, but I already capitalized with where I understand I'm going to buy this market, and the liquidity. I was looking at this area. We have several reasons. Here we are having this hidden WLL. We are having a COC, but I took it at the first trade I took here at the hidden WLL, and I only risked 35 pips. Only 35 pips because the trade has a the profit ratio is 1 to 4.6 ratio. It's okay, it's fine. It's fine because this is a very high time frame. So I could probably risk it up to that angle. So that was the number one confluence. The other one, of course, I used Fibonacci to test my entry liquidity point, which is a hidden WLIL from the daily time frame within a daily scenario zone. Then it was the 61% Fibonacci. You see how these confluences were holding up things very tightly. I went into 61% within area of interest. So here's where I just placed in my first order. Then price came to take this order. You see, on Monday, price retested. On Tuesday, we have an indecision candle doji, and on Wednesday, price started to go above. You see, now while this price is going above, what pattern does it give us? See here, it gives us a morning star. It's a very beautiful formation of a daily time frame morning star, which is another a confluence for reversal or continuation. That's why I said, okay, fine. We get a retest, then we continue to push above. Now, what was the liquidity that I used? It was a 4-hour flip. From the 4 hours time frame, we have had a liquidity flip. We'll perhaps see with 4 hours time frame. 4 hours time frame, if I mark it from here, it's an already high, thrust up, thrust down. We were supposed to have liquidity engineering here, but the liquidity engineering failed. Then what are we going to harvest? We are going to harvest liquidity with a long position, liquidity flip. That's why I took the second entry there. Okay, and we have our Fibonacci TP1 above there, which I shall close on Monday when price opens. I'll be very careful to watch it. Why? Because from the 4 hours time frame, we are having a certain resistance zone here. So I'll be very careful to see the price patterns once market opens, if we'll continue with the bullish momentum next week or other ways, because you see this touches 1, 2, 3, 4 times. We have had this resistance, but I'm still hoping that price will still keep on going to the upside. So this is how it was done with a GBPUSD, and the only confluence where a market structure, price breaking above the channel, of course, support and resistance zone, types of liquidity, which including hidden WRL liquidity, the concept of EDE liquidity as an entry point, and also the concept of liquidity flip as an entry point. It is what it is. We remain profitable, we remain calm, we remain persistent and resilient with this financial market. So let's see how it plays next week. This is Gatosefx.